welcome to a special Rugby Heartland show this morning at 10 o'clock. We'll all find out exactly who the provincial Heart of New Zealand Rugby, the Heartland Championship, who the teams will be playing in 2025, where and when. We don't have the times, but we do have the where. And just before we go, because it's embargoed until 10 o'clock, we'll bring in the man from the deep south, Mr. Sheehan. How are you, Mike? Only a few minutes away when we can break embargo. What are you looking forward to?
Oh, looking forward to good morning, Rabs. Looking forward to another year of grassroots Heartland rugby.
Oh, totally. I did see them say for the NPC, it's where, provincial pride takes precedent, but this is the competition where the real provincial pride takes precedent. And, of course, we all know that, we had a doozy of a season last year, and I think this year it's just going to be even better. But, okay, as I said, we can't really say much because basically all we can show you at the moment is a big blur as we count down to the 10 o'clock embargo. I don't want to get in trouble by saying, oh, this is what we got and this is how we are. So, your team at Canterbury, who are you looking forward to maybe seeing?
Hopefully there's another rematch with Thames Valley somewhere along the line. That'll be another good game. But yeah, just waiting to see who we're playing and where we're playing, I guess.
Yeah, well, the good thing is because at the moment we can't get kicked off like we did yesterday by Sky Sport because this is our own show and it's going to be a media release, as I said, in a couple of minutes. But, I mean, to all the viewers out there that will be watching and anticipating what their teams are going to be doing, throw them in the comments and hopefully we can turn around and produce your wishes. And so what we'll do is when it goes live, we'll go through each individual round and have a look and think of what's what, rounds 1 through to 8. I can sort of say that the Meads Cup, Lahore Cups are on at the same time. About the 11th and 18th, I think it is the semi-finals weekend and the finals weekend. But I don't know. Just looking forward to it. I'm looking at my watch. My watch is now at 9:59 and 20 seconds. The embargo is 10 o'clock, so I'm not going to break embargo. I'm just looking forward to some awesome games. Hopefully I can get through to a few this year. And, pretty much if Mid-Canterbury play Wairarapa Bush, are you going to come up to Marsden and we'll have a few beers?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, well, I'm sure you're friends with Tanya. She can shout you a trip up here. Now she's the new boss at Wairarapa Bush. But anyway, we're going to be going live in about now. So, boom! Look, people! Ta-da! We have the draw. It is 10 o'clock. And because that is such a big picture and you can't see the words, I have been busily in the back of the burrow working away. And we can show you week 1 is going to be on the 16th of August. I'll just bring that down again. 16th of August. And we will have Horowhenua playing Kapiti. Horowhenua Kapiti playing Bulla at Levin Domain. Poverty Bay will be playing Ngāti Porou East Coast. And West Coast, Mr. Flavel, is going to be playing King Country, a grand final rematch indeed. So there we go. We've already got one of our chaps on. So we've got a grand final rematch, and just for you, we do have here Thames Valley playing Mid-Canterbury at Hauraki North at Waitakaruru. Another replay. So we've got 2 grand final replays on here, and so that's pretty exciting. Wanganui will be hosting North Otago at Cook's Gardens, and Wairarapa Bush with a new coaching team will be going up against Nigel Walsh and company at Masterton. So I'll be hoping to catch up with Jeremy Sutherland there for round one. So what's your thoughts on the results of week one? What's your, I don't know what your main matchup is, the grand final repeat, but what do you think? Good way to kick off the season?
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, that's a not a bad week one, actually. As you said, you got West Coast and King Country and Thames Valley and Mid Canterbury replays of last year's finals. But yeah, no, Ngāti Porou and Poverty Bay, Wanganui, North Otago, and South Canterbury, Wairarapa Bush. So yeah, no, that's not a bad round to kick off, actually.
Yeah, and the Poverty Bay, Ngāti Porou, East Coast, well, that will be the second time they meet because they traditionally meet at King's birthday weekend. So we'll get a bit of an insight in June how that goes. So for Mr. Flavel, we'll go to week number 2, which will be the 23rd of August. So I hope you're getting your plane tickets all ready, people, because Buller will be hosting Wanganui in round 2. I'll just bring that up so we can all see it nicely. East Coast will be hosting the West Coast up at Ruatoria for the Arthur Wicks Trophy. And that'll be a humdinger. Ngāti Porou will be looking at a bit of a revenge there after they couldn't get all their players down south last year for their game. And West Coast have the big road trip to Ruatoria, the home of the new Chiefs partner there, East Coast, as they apparently dumped the Hurricanes, as we all know. And for you, Mike, your first home game for the year will be against Horowhenua Kapiti. At this stage, all these games kick off at 2:30, and but at this stage, times can change. So don't take what we say here as gospel, because the grounds could even change. You don't know. But Mid Canterbury will be taking on Horowhenua at Ashburton Showgrounds at 2:00. King Country, I believe this will be the first Bill Osborne Tonga defence against Poverty Bay at Tikawiti. North Otago will be hosting Wairarapa Bush and Oamaru. We haven't been told the grounds for these games yet due to Whitestone Contracting Stadium being rubble at the moment as they rebuild it. And then, of course, we've got the Battle of the Big Guns, the South Canterbury hosting Thames Valley at Timaru at Fraser Park, the wonderful-looking new Fraser Park. Yeah, I'm still trying to get my free trip down there again for them. So how do you think you're going to go against the boys from the mighty Nua for your first game at home?
We should be right. I think we beat them last season. I think we played up there, and it was a mighty howling wind up in
Levin.
Levin Domain. We played them last year, and it was a howling wind, and we got the upper hand of them eventually. But it took us a while to get the upper hand because we all know that they Horowhenua are a strong team when they're at home, and they're a very proud union. So looking forward to that. Obviously, South Canterbury Thames Valley is going to be a doozy at Fraser Park.
Oh, and
obviously West Coast make the big trek up to Ruatoria to play Ngāti Porou, and we all know it's hard to go up there and win games because of obviously travel's a factor because it takes a day and a half to get there, but they're a very proud union and they come out in force to support their home team, so that'll be a hard game for the coast, but yeah, anything's possible.
Yeah, that'll be probably a day of watching them all on live streams around the place. And I'll be looking to see how King Country defend the Bill Osborne there at Poverty Bay, at Tikawiti against Poverty Bay. It'll be. So far it's looking good. I mean, at the moment you got the grand finalists from last year. One of them's going to walk away a loser from round one. And then and in round 2, you've got South Canterbury and Thames, the last champions forever, going head to head. So that first week is real important. Get your game underway because you've got quite a few tough matches in round 2. So we head now to week number 3, which will be on the 30th of August. And Buller will be hosting South Canterbury at Westport. Ngāti Pro will get back-to-back home games. They will be hosting North Otago. Horowhenua Kapiti, they'll be playing there at Levin against Poverty Bay. Thames Valley will be hosting King Country in a derby battle there at Boyd Park in Te Aroha. And Wairarapa Bush will be taking on Mid Canterbury. Okay, I did a bit of a spoiler earlier. But yeah, so Mid Canterbury now, I've been told that this game will be at about 1:30 due to travel restrictions. But I'm sure we'll get all the download nearer the time of game kickoffs. And of course, we've got Wanganui taking on West Coast the same day at Cook's Gardens in Wanganui. Yeah, so I'll definitely be over there for the Mid Canterbury Wairarapa Bush game. It'll be a battle of the new CEOs there. One Tanya Derns, who was Mid Canterbury, is now Wairarapa Bush. And of course, we've got the new guy, Addison, at Mid Canterbury. So we've got a couple of newbies wanting to get victory over each other there. What's your thoughts there for week 3 on the 30th of August?
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed with Wairarapa Bush's season last year. Obviously, they weren't performing as well as they could. So it'll be interesting to see how they come out against us up there and at their hometown. But yeah, that round looks pretty straightforward. I could just about go and pick all the winners. But yeah, Ngāti Pro East Coast, 2 home games in a row, so that'll be good for them.
Yeah, well, at least
obviously North Otago having to trek all the way up there, but that's just the nature of the beast. And obviously the game of the round will probably be Thames Valley King Country.
It will totally be, and as I said, Thames Valley, I mean, they've got quite tough at the start there, and then they got South Canterbury, and then they got King Country, so they'll be one to get off to a humdinger. We'll just have to see how many players they buy in from Waikato. Yeah, well, but in saying that, Wairarapa Bush, they've got a new coaching team as well this year, so it'll be interesting to see how many Wellington boys might travel the Rimatakas to play some club rugby over in the bush this year. Horowhenua, Poverty Bay, that could be a tight one, but I think Horowhenua will be far too strong for the Poverty Bay boys. And the Wanganui West Coast game, well, this is a flip of the coin. It's if West Coast are off to a flyer and Wanganui, they always sit in the background, don't they, Wanganui? You just don't know what they're going to serve up each year. They're either going to be unbeatable or take you to the wire. So that'll be an interesting one. And of course, the Buller West South Canterbury game. Well, only because I do wonderful work with the team from Buller. I'll have to go Buller. There you go, Jeremy, over the South Canterbury upset of the season. Okay, so that's week 3. Now we go into week 4, which will be on the 6th of September. I'll just blow that up so people can see. And Poverty Bay will be hosting this previously said Buller at Rugby Park in Gisborne. It's been a while since they've played there. It's been going through a bit of a refurbishment. Mid Canterbury will be hosting Ngāti Pro East Coast at Ashburton. Again, this has been penciled in at a 2:00 kickoff. King Country will be, if they're still holding the Bill Osborne, will be defending that against Horowhenua Kapiti at Tikawiti. North Otago will be hosting the Swamp Foxes down there in Oamaru. And then another big matchup, South Canterbury versus Wanganui, there at Fraser Park in Timaru. That's probably the match of the round. And then we've got West Coast hosting Wairarapa Bush at John Sturgeon Park in Greymouth. And all those games are on the 6th of September. So you'll be able to catch up with Kahu and team on the 6th of September, Mike.
Yeah, I was talking to him the other day, or yesterday or the day before, and pretty much said that the beer's going to be cold on that day. So he's looking forward to that. So I'll catch up with him. Hope they'll probably be staying at the Hotel Ashburton as per last year when they played South Canterbury, but they couldn't get any accommodation in Timaru, so they had to stay up here. So, but yeah, South Canterbury Wanganui, that's going to be a ding dong battle. Wanganui obviously didn't have a good, well, they had a good season, but they could have had a better season. But they were quite strung by injuries last year. Yeah, a couple of key players struggled with injury. One didn't even make it onto the park, but from all accounts, he'll be back this year. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how many players that each union can retain from last year. Obviously, there's players moving on, and you know.
Well, true, and same with West Coast. I mean, they had pretty much a brand new squad from the Lahore Cup winning team in 23, and a lot of retirements. They finally won the big prize and had moved on. So it will be interesting to see how many of them may be back. Still no official word on the new coaching team after Sean Cuttance has left for business reasons, and so Wairarapa Bush, they do have the new coach. They do find it quite hard to travel down to down to the West Coast. I know they are looking at trying to get a earlier time kickoff so they can fly out again. But with all the fun and games going on down there at the moment, no one's answering their phone calls. So that's an interesting little side note. I'm not going to throw any punches.
It's actually interesting that we didn't actually play East Coast last year in the competition. That was one of the teams we didn't play, so it'll be interesting to see how the Mid-Canterbury boys go against the East Coast. I think the last time we played them might have been the year before. The year before that was in a Lahore Cup semi-final up in Ruatoria, and we lost that by 5 points. So.
Revenge time for the Hammers, eh?
See if we can break down. See if we can break down Joe Royal and his big forward pack.
Yeah, well, there you go. And I mean, I can see the smile on your face already. The world's looking great. It's pissing down with rain outside. But look at this. We're talking Heartland Rugby. This is awesome. If there's any matchups that you people have seen watching the show, tell us what they are. Tell us the games that you're looking forward to. But we'll go on to week 5, which is on the 13th of September. And we'll just blow that up a little bit more so people can see what we're talking about. So Buller will be hosting Thames Valley at Westport there on the 13th. Ngāti Pro East Coast will be hosting Wanganui over there in Ruatoria. Horowhenua Kapiti will be hosting West Coast at Levin. King Country, if they're still holding the Bill Osborne Tonga by then, they'll be getting a challenge from the boys from the bush at Owen Delaney Park in Taupo. So that could be a game I might travel up for. North Otago will be hosting Poverty Bay. Again, the ground is to be confirmed. And then we've got the Hannon Shield Battle Royale at Fraser Park, Timaru, South Canterbury, Mid Canterbury. I wonder which way you're going to lean on this game.
Oh, I'll be going for Mid Canterbury, but I was giving Siu Kakala shit the other day. I said, rematch, and he just sent back a big smile, so he's up for it. Yeah, no, that's going to be a good game. Obviously, a rematch of the semi-final last year, same ground, same teams. Slightly different coaching staff for the South Canterbury team, but yeah, no, they'll be hard to beat as normal in front of their faithful.
Yeah, they will be, and they will be so bitter about that semi-final loss last year that they'll be wanting to come out and go, you caught us on a matrix loop that day. We were hiccuping all the way, and I got a feeling they're going to do the business there on you fellas. I just think, I think they've got a point to prove that they let that game slip because they just weren't there at all last year. They didn't show up for that game. They tried to, but they let you guys in, and it was a great victory by the Hammers that particular day. So, as I said, I'm looking at that week 5 and thinking, it might be a road trip to Taupo that weekend, which I'm sure the good wife will be happy with. So then we go to week 6, which will be on the 20th of September, and I'll just blow that up again, just bring that down a little bit. And of course, that will kick off with Mid Canterbury hosting King Country again, Ashburton around 2 o'clock. Poverty Bay will be hosting South Canterbury. Thames Valley will be hosting Ngāti Pro East Coast at Coromandel. So they're continuing taking the Heartland games around the region. So we've got Waitakere, Pyroa, we have Coromandel. So I wonder where we'll be heading off next to for the Thames Valley boys. Wairarapa Bush will be taking on the boys from Bulla. So you know where I'm going to be on that day. I'm going to be in the gravel pit there and having a few quiet zeros or real beer and catching up with the team from Bulla. And that will be at Trust House Memorial Park. And Wanganui, well, they'll be hosting Horowhenua Kapiti. I believe this could be for a Bruce Steele Cup at Cook's Gardens. And then, of course, West Coast will be hosting North Otago at John Sturgeon Park over there on the coast. So there's some good matchups there. But again, is this a round where you could go winner, chicken dinner?
Oh, anything's possible in Heartland Rugby, but obviously the Hammers have got King Country. We bet them they were our first round opponents last season, and we bet them just. But yeah, that was a good game. But I'm quite excited to see that West Coast North Otago game. See how the North Otago boys travel over to John Sturgeon Park, and whether it's raining or whether it's sunny. But she's always a hard ground to win at over there, and obviously the weather plays a part. But the old coast faithful never stray far from home anyway, do they? So
no, they don't. And the good thing is, it's Heartland. I mean, we got no idea who all the coaches are yet. We've got no idea what time the kickoffs are going to be yet. We have no idea what games they're going to be shown, if we are going to get them, because sometimes, normally we get at least one game a week now on Sky. We pay $5 more from May. Of course, on top of that, we don't even know who all the players are. So, I mean, we're just literally crystal balling it here on last season's results and players. But there are plenty coming up through the grades. And I think we'll see a few stars this year. And we may even see the odd upset. But, I think it would be a exciting week because pretty much you win here, you're still in the hunt for probably some sort of semi-final, because then we move to week 7. And that's going to be on the 27th of September. And Bulla will be hosting Ngāti Pro East Coast, so a huge road trip there for the Sky Blues. Horowhenua Kapiti will be playing Wairarapa Bush over there in up the road in Levin. King Country will be taking on Wanganui. They'll be for, again, possibly the Bill Osborne Tonga, but it will be also for the Pine Tree Log that King Country hold. They've had the wood, excuse the pun, over Wanganui in recent years. But that game's going to be played at Tamaranui Domain. Not often we get games over there in Tamaranui. I'm sort of half pie leaning to King Country there because I've literally just found my grandfather's grave in Tamaranui. So, so I've got Whakapapa going back to Tamaranui, and that's where my mum was born. So go the mighty Rams against the Butcher Boys there. North Otago, they'll be hosting South Canterbury, again, another Hannon Shield match at Oamaru. And your boys will be travelling up to Gisborne to play Poverty Bay, who we still don't know who the coach is. Or do you know who the coach is? I haven't heard yet. And then Thames Valley will be hosting West Coast for the unusual name for a trophy, but it's just called The Game. I've called it the Game Cup, but it's just The Game. And that is between Thames and West Coast, and that will be played at Centennial Park in Pyro. So, your thoughts on round 7? Winners here have got the inside running for semi-finals.
Well, hopefully we can beat Poverty Bay. We beat them quite convincingly down here last season when they come down to the showgrounds, and I think we put 40 odd points on them or something. But yeah, North Otago, South Canterbury, that'll be a good game. And And yeah, I see the Sky Blues are on a big road trip down to Victoria Park in Westport. Yeah, hopefully the weather plays ball for them. Yeah, and they can sample a bit of East Coast hospitality. Might even get a bit of whitebait if you're lucky.
Well, if they're lucky. But, the good thing about Victoria Square there is if that weather does, blow in, it's a very exposed ground. And, yeah, it would be a interesting one. Could even be a great game to fly down for. But unfortunately, it does cost more to get to Westport than it does to get to the Gold Coast in Australia. But after Australia, Gold Coast got wiped out by that storm, it might be a better idea to go to Buller. They've had more sunshine. Who would thought of that phrase in 2025, 100 years ago? But anyway, so I look at that and think, well, that Horowhenua, Wairarapa Bush, they can always be doozies. This is a toss of the coin match. And the Thames Valley West Coast game, wow, that's just going to be a battle royal up there at Pyroa. And depending on the weather there, it'll be hard. West Coast very rarely win up there. And it will be an interesting matchup. But then the teams get one more chance to make the semi-finals, and that will be on the 4th of October, week 8. And King Country will have to travel to Ruatoria to play Ngāti Porou East Coast. Your boys, Mid Canterbury, will be hosting North Otago, Ashburton, again, 2 o'clock kickoff. South Canterbury at Fraser Park and Timaru will be hosting Horowhenua Kapiti. Wairarapa Bush will be playing Poverty Bay and Masterton. That'll be for the Jeremy Davids Memorial Trophy. Wanganui, again, will be playing Thames Valley. And then we've got the mighty Rundle Cup, 4th of October, John Sturgeon Park, 120-odd plus years in the making. And it's West Coast taking on Buller. West Coast took the Rundle Cup off Buller last year up there at Westport. So Buller will be wanting to make the road trip down. There's only 0.01 point between these two teams over 100 years. So this could be a humdinger of a match to be at. Thoughts? Winners here can pretty much lock in their semi-final home defences.
Yeah, well, Mid Canterbury, North Otago, we just scraped through. We just scraped past them last year at the prestigious Valley Rugby Club there in Oamaru. That was a good day and a good win. Ngāti Porou East Coast and King Country, well, that's got the potential to be a really, really good game. Back in front of their faithful up there at Ruatoria. But yeah, no, you can't go far past West Coast and Buller. Good old battle that's been going on for, well, a number of years now. And hopefully West Coast can upset Buller and get that cup back. But
no, well, West Coast got the cup. It's Buller they've got, because the one in Christchurch a couple of years ago, and a great day of rugby when they played all the games at Apollo Project, and no one gave Buller a chance that day, and
they didn't. No.
They upset the apple cart and took the dub. So West Coast got revenge, as I said last year, on that, and took it out. But Buller will be, as I said. They're pretty much head-to-head even. Head-to-head with, the draws and win losses even. If anyone watching this around the world can tell me a better, how can I put it, record between two teams over 100 years where there's literally 0.1 point between the two on points for and against, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So, looking forward to that. So the finals, as I said, will be on, I'll just see if I can pull that up. There we go. So we've got the semi-finals going to be on the 11th of October, the Meads and Lahore Cup. And then, of course, the finals, Meads Cup and Lahore Cup, are scheduled for the 18th, 19th of October. I still would like to know why forever we've had Meads Cup on the Saturday and Lahore Cup on the Sunday. No disrespect to the teams in Lahore Cup, but that is for 5th to 8th place, or 5th to 6th, and or 5th place, should I say. And then you got the Meads Cup for the champion. To me, they should always swap those around. The Lahore Cup should be the Saturday match, and then we will finish off the year with Meads Cup final on the Saturday, so on the Sunday, and that can be the final game for the season before we head into international windows and overseas tours and stuff like that. There is no word on any Heartland stuff. All I do know is that they are scheduled to go and play 3 matches in Samoa. So if you want to go for an awesome week of rugby and that up in the tropics, get in touch with your local travel agent and say, what's the story about the Heartland team? There we go. I'm glad I don't make this up, because Zane, totally agree. Swap the dates around, New Zealand rugby. You have got to open there for 18th, 19th split, whichever way we go. You can change that around. It doesn't make sense. It's crazy. And you'd get a bigger crowd on a Sunday than on a Saturday. So that is the I'll just try and bring that down. That is the draw, and we can just zip back through there, and as I said, have a quick recap there. So as I said there, week 1, some great matchups there. I don't know. It's I just want it to start tomorrow. What's your thoughts there?
Yeah, well, obviously it's going to come around quick enough. Club rugby's going to kick into gear in the next couple of weeks, and then that'll all be over. And then the respective, obviously, there's a few unions still to name their coaching lineup, so that'll be done before the Heartland season commences. But yeah, no, it'll be here soon enough, and it'll be obviously the Heartland coaches will be going around the clubs and having a look at all the games and trying to find some talent, and obviously it's a chance for everyone to put their hand up and say, yeah, I want to go, and hopefully they all the best to all the clubs for their club season, and hopefully we can see some new exciting talent come through the ranks. But it's going to be interesting to see how many players are retained by the respective unions and how many have moved on and up and sideways and all that.
Yeah, I mean, most of all the club games start in April, 5, 12, something like that. We just have had Wairarapa Bush announce their draw a couple of days ago for, they kick off with the Lane Pen Cup. But everyone else seems to be wanting to, get it all up and running and ready. And yeah. So, people, what other games, even if we're not online, jump on in the comments below and tell us what you are looking forward to for the games. But what I can say is now we've got a draw, I will be setting up a rugbyheartland.co.nz tipping competition. So keep an eye out for that on the old socials and on the website, where you'll be able to log in and we'll try and work on a few sponsors and see if we can get some little goodies available for people. But it's I've always wanted to do a tipping comp, but there hasn't been the technology to do it. But I have found some technology to do it, so we can do it. Yay! So and I don't have to think about it with spreadsheets. It just does it. So that's even better. So I don't know. Okay, prediction time. Who is your Lahore Cup winner for 2025, Mike Sheehan? Have you frozen on me?
No, I'm just thinking. King Country.
King Country. Okay, they're going to go back to back, you reckon? Okay.
Yeah.
I know I've got about 4 CEOs waiting to hear me say because as soon as you say who's going to be in the Lahore Cup and who's going to win it, it means they're not going to win the Meads. Okay, I'm going to go. We're going to see the boys from the bush reclaim the spiritual home of the Lahore Cup, and I'm going to say the Lahore Cup final will be won by Wairarapa Bush in Marsden on the 19th of October. There you go. I think they're up for a resurgence. It's 20 odd years, 30 years since they won the Division 3. 20 odd or 30 odd years, 20 odd years since they did that. 30 odd years since they were in Division 1 of New Zealand Rugby and beat Auckland and beat Canterbury and beat Wellington. They could have won the whole thing and been the top dogs under the guidance of Sir Brian Lahore. So I reckon Wairarapa Bush are due for a resurgence and they'll take that out. So then we head to who is going to win the Meads Cup, with the thoughts that we've already knocked out King Country and Wairarapa Bush. We're left with 10.
Oh, hopefully it'll be the Mighty Men in Mid.
You're going to say that. Mid Canterbury will be Mike Sheehan's pick. I could have put my house on that one. I tell you, it's going to be a toughie, but it's hard to go past Thames. I know, it's just that they've just got it going so well there. They've got their recruitment in place. They are sort of like, these teams tend to take it in, dynasties. You had your Wanganui, you had your South Canterbury, even Wairarapa Bush were thereabouts all the time. And I just think it's Thames's time. You can't knock out North Otago because they're always in semi-finals of some sort. They're perennial. West Coast, I think there was a bit of a hiccup there a couple of years ago. They might make the semi-finals of the Meads Cup this year, but it depends on who they have running the show, because at the end of the day, if it's not running well at the top, it ain't going to run well at the bottom, if you understand where I'm heading with that one. So you need that proper leadership there. And Horowhenua Kapiti, wow, they could be anywhere. You just don't know what they're going to provide. Corey and the team there. And South Canterbury, Nigel Walsh is back. He will be looking at a revenge on last year. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a Thames Valley South Canterbury final again in 2025. Here's my prediction. And I think the Swamp Foxes will probably take it out again.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know. And South Canterbury will play Mid Canterbury in the semi-final at Ashburton, and they'll get their utmost revenge on you. So that is our 40-minute odd special presentation of the Heartland Draw that went live at 10 a.m. We did not break embargo. We did it at 10 a.m. If you want to know what's happening around the place, westcoastrfu.co.nz has the full draw there. bullerrugby.co.nz has the full draw there. Wairarapa or ybush.co.nz, that has the full draw on there as well. That's just been published at 10 o'clock. And of course, rugbyheartland.co.nz, our home, has the full draw and all the stats and everything you need to know at our website. So, yeah. Now, are you happy about who's going to play in the under-20s final next Saturday?
Yep. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Yep.
So the Blues went down in 2 games, very, very tight. What was it, 48-45 and then 45-43 to the Crusaders last night. To everyone that was watching our shows yesterday, even though they were a bit truncated, seems to be the word of the week for me at the moment. But Yeah, so the Chiefs will be playing the Crusaders on Saturday there at Owen Delaney Park. And then, of course, we've got the third and fourth between the Blues and the Blues and Hurricanes for third and fourth. So the Hurricanes actually looked all okay once they got their game in play against the Chiefs, but they just let them away too far. So, yeah, who's going to win, Crusaders or Chiefs on Saturday for the under-20s?
Chiefs.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go Crusaders. I think they'll teach them a lesson. I think the boys were looking quite amazing in their games, and but let's just hope they work on their defense, because I tell you what, defense is out the window at the moment, and attacking rugby is in. So, but otherwise, any other parting thoughts, Mike, before we go off here?
No, not really. Just bring on club rugby, I suppose, and then bring on Heartland.
Let it. Yeah, we'll get stuck into it. So again, thanks everyone for watching. Thank you, Mike, for your insights. I knew you would be picking the Hammer Boys quite often, and we'll catch up with you guys next week. You never know, we might even pop up earlier. But if not, we'll see you next Tuesday. Cheers, and catch us all later.
See you, mate.
See you all.